Lesson 10, 10th lesson, The Seasons and the Weather, Part 1. There are 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn and winter. Summer is warm or hot. Autumn and spring are cool. Winter is cold. In summer the weather is warm or hot. In spring and autumn it is warm or cool. In winter it is cold. In England it is not very cold in winter or very hot in summer. In some parts of the Soviet Union the winter is very cold and the summer very hot. At the beginning of spring it is cold. At the end it is warm. When autumn begins it is still warm. When it ends, it is cold. In spring, it gets warmer, or the weather gets warmer. In autumn, it gets cooler and then colder. In the middle of summer, the weather is sometimes very hot. It is sometimes very hot. In the middle of winter, it is sometimes very cold. In winter, it snows. In spring and autumn, it often rains. The wind blows. In summer the sun shines. There are thunderstorms. In England it does not snow much, but it often rains, even in summer. In some parts of the Soviet Union the summer is very dry. It almost never rains. When it rains the weather is rainy. When it snows it is snowy. When the wind blows, it is windy. When the sun shines, the weather is sunny. In summer, it gets light early in the morning and dark late in the evening. The days are long and the nights are short. In winter, it gets light late in the morning and it gets dark early in the evening. In the evening, we must switch on the electric light. We switch the light on and switch it off with a switch. The longest days are in the middle of summer. The longest nights in the middle of winter. In winter we wear warm clothes. In summer we wear light, cool ones. If the sun is hot, some women carry a parasol. In autumn and in spring we wear a light overcoat. In winter a heavy one. Women wear a fur coat in winter in cold countries. Part 2. Sentences in the past. Last summer the weather was very warm. The sun shone brightly. There were long periods without any rain. We had a hot summer last year. The summer was dry. For long periods it didn't rain. There were many thunderstorms. We had many bright sunny days. In autumn the weather was very bad. It rained often. Strong winds blew. The sun did not shine much. It was cold and damp. We didn't have a good autumn. The weather was not warm. It was cold and damp. The sun did not shine often. Strong cold winds often blew. At the beginning of winter, it still rained and was windy. Then it got cold, snow began to fall, the rivers froze. Winter didn't begin until late last year. At the beginning of December it rained, but didn't snow. It began to snow in February. Snow covered the ground, the rivers froze, the weather got very cold. Spring didn't come till May. Then the snow melted, grass appeared, the trees became green, the crops began to grow. Spring didn't begin till May. The snow didn't melt in April, but in May. When the snow melted, grass appeared, the trees began to become green, and the crops began to grow in the fields. Soon the weather got warm. I didn't like last winter. I like winter when it is cold at the New Year. Then I can skate and ski during my holidays. I didn't skate during the winter holidays because it didn't freeze. The rivers were not covered with ice. I didn't ski because it didn't snow till February. There was no snow during the winter holidays. Conversation.
What did you do during the winter holidays?
I skied every day in the fields not far from our house. I like skiing very much.
But wasn't the weather very cold?
Well, it was cold, but it wasn't windy, and the sun shone quite brightly very often. Cold, sunny weather is very good for skiing.
I don't like cold weather. I sat in my room almost all day reading.
Reading is very useful, of course, but you can't read all the holidays. You must go out sometimes. Put on warm clothes tomorrow and come to the park with me.
All right, if it is not windy.
Lesson 11, 11th lesson, Part 1. What Mr. Green did yesterday. Mr. Green woke up when his alarm clock rang at 6:30. He got up and washed and dressed himself. He washed with water and soap, cleaned his teeth with a toothbrush and toothpaste, shaved with a razor, dried himself with a towel, combed and brushed his hair with a comb and hairbrush, dressed himself and went to breakfast. Mrs. Green got the breakfast ready. They had breakfast together in the kitchen. After breakfast, Mr. Green went to the railway station. He took a train to London and a bus to his office. He went to the railway station on foot, to London by train, and from the railway station in London to his office by bus. I went to work by bus and came home on foot. He arrived at his office at 9:10, worked from 9 to 1, then had lunch and worked again till 6 o'clock. Mr. Green worked from 9 o'clock till 1 o'clock and from 2 o'clock till 6 o'clock. He had lunch or dinner at 1 o'clock. He went home at 6 o'clock. He arrived home at 20 to 7 in the evening. In the evening, Mr. Green had tea with his family. Then he read the newspaper, listened to the news, and watched TV. Mr. Green and his family had tea at 7 o'clock. Then they listened to the news on the wireless. Mr. and Mrs. Green watched a film on TV. The children did not watch the film. It was not a film for children. At 9 o'clock, the children went to bed. They slept soundly all night. Mr. and Mrs. Green had supper at 10 o'clock. The children went to bed at 9 o'clock, but the parents did not. They had supper at 10 o'clock and went to bed after supper. Mr. Green slept soundly till his alarm clock rang next morning. Questions and answers in the past. At what time did Mr. Green's alarm clock ring? It rang at 6:30. Where did Mr. Green wash and shave? He washed and shaved in the bathroom. What did he comb and brush his hair with? He combed and brushed his hair with a comb and a hairbrush. What did he clean his teeth with? He cleaned them with a toothbrush and toothpaste. Where did the Greens have their breakfast? They had it in the kitchen. How did Mr. Green go to London? He went by train. Did he take a bus from the station to the office? Yes, he did. At what time did he arrive at the office? He arrived at 10 minutes to 9. How many hours did he work? He worked 8 hours. What did he do in the evening? He read the newspaper, listened to the news on the wireless, and then had supper. Did he watch a film on the TV? Yes, he did. Did the children watch the film? No, they didn't. They went to bed at 9 o'clock. How did the children sleep all night? They slept soundly all night. Part 2. A visit to a farm. This morning the Greens got up early. They wanted to go to the country to visit some friends who have a farm. The Greens got up early this morning because they wanted to go to the country. They visited some friends in the country. Their friends have a farm. They travelled from London by train. The farm is 5 miles from the station. Farmer Mitchell came for them in his car. The Greens did not travel to the country by car. They travelled by train. Farmer Mitchell met them at the railway station with his car. Farmer Mitchell showed his visitors his fields of barley, oats, rye and wheat, and large fields of potatoes, cabbages and beet. Farmer Mitchell said, "I have more barley, oats and rye than wheat. Wheat does not grow well in this part of the country. I sell the barley and wheat and keep the rye and oats for fodder for the animals. A large part of the potatoes, cabbages and beet also goes as fodder. In a large vegetable garden, the farmer grows carrots, cauliflowers, onions, beans, peas and lettuce. In spring he grows radishes and other spring vegetables. He keeps some of the vegetables for his family and sells the rest to dealers in town. The visitors saw the cows in the cowshed, the pigs in their sty, and the sheep in the meadow. I breed cows mostly for milk, pigs for bacon, sheep for meat and wool," said the farmer. The farmer uses a tractor and agricultural machines to plough, sow and harvest. Farmer Mitchell has agricultural machines for the ploughing, sowing, harvesting and other field work. His father ploughed, sowed and harvested with horses. Agricultural labourers do the work in the fields. Dairy maids feed the cows and milk them. Mrs. Mitchell looks after the poultry. The visitors watched the milkmaids when they milked the cows. They saw Mrs. Mitchell collect the eggs and feed the hens and chickens, the ducks and geese and the turkeys. In the orchard there were apples, pears, plums and cherries. The Greens picked a lot of ripe fruit. In his large orchard the farmer has apple trees, pear trees, plum trees and cherry trees. He has gooseberries, strawberries, raspberries and black currants. The Greens picked a lot of ripe fruit and took it home.
Conversation.
Where were you last week, Tanya? I went to your house, but you weren't there.
I went to visit my relatives in the country.
I didn't know you had relatives in the country.
But I have. I have a cousin Valya, who works with her husband on a state farm not far from Moscow. I visit them every year.
And what did you do there?
I helped Valya to pick cherries. She's an orchard team leader. They have so much fruit there, you never saw so much. Cherries, apricots, apples and pears. This is a very good year for fruit. I brought a lot of cherries, strawberries and apricots home with me. I can give you some for your mother if you want some.
Of course I do. Thank you very much. I can come for them now.
That's fine. The cherries are very ripe, and the strawberries too. You must eat them soon.
Let's go then.
Lesson 12, 12th lesson, Part 1, Our Food. We get food from animals and birds, plants and fishes. Which animals do we get food from? We get meat from the cow, the pig, and the sheep. What else do we get from the cow? From the cow we also get milk. From milk we make butter and cheese. We can also get cream from milk. From the cow we get beef. From the pig we get pork, bacon and ham. From the sheep we get mutton. Beef is the meat we get from the cow. Pork is the meat we get from the pig. What do we get from the duck and the hen? We get poultry and eggs from them. We grow wheat, oats, maize, and other cereals in the fields. From them we make flour. From flour we bake bread. What do we make from cereals? We make flour from them. What do we bake from flour? We bake bread, cakes, and biscuits. We eat cereals, especially cornflakes, for breakfast. With cereals we make milk puddings. English people eat porridge for breakfast. They also eat eggs and bacon for breakfast. What else do we eat besides meat and cereals? We also eat various kinds of vegetables, fruit and berries. What kinds of vegetables do you know? I know potatoes, cabbages, cauliflower, beetroot, carrots, onions, tomatoes, radishes and cucumbers. What kinds of fruit do we eat? We eat apples, pears, apricots, peaches, grapes, bananas and oranges. What kinds of berries do we grow in our orchard? We grow strawberries, gooseberries, raspberries, black currants, red currants and white currants. What color are apples? They are red, yellow and green. Name a red vegetable. A tomato is red. Name a yellow fruit. A banana is yellow. What color are grapes? They are green, yellow, red, blue or black. Do we eat fish? Yes, we eat many kinds of fish. Where do fishes live? They live in the sea and in the rivers. They live in water. They need water to live. They cannot live out of water. How do we cook meat or fish? We can boil, fry or roast meat and fish. We usually boil vegetables. Do you like boiled meat? Yes, but I like roast meat better. Englishmen like fried potatoes very much. They call them chips. Englishmen often eat fish and chips. In spring, summer and autumn, we eat fresh fruit raw. In winter, we eat preserved and stewed fruit. Do you cook fresh fruit? No, I usually eat it raw. When do we eat preserved and stewed fruit? When we have no fresh fruit, especially in winter. We eat raw fruit, preserved fruit, and stewed fruit. We drink tea, coffee, cocoa, milk, wine, and beer. When do you drink coffee? I drink coffee with milk for breakfast. Sometimes I drink black coffee after dinner. When do English people drink tea? English people drink tea several times a day, especially at tea time, about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you like cocoa? Not very much. Part 2. A table laid for two. In the picture you see a table laid for dinner. On the table is a white tablecloth. For each person there is a large plate or dinner plate with a soup plate on it a small plate or bread plate, a knife, a fork and a tablespoon. There is a napkin on each dinner plate. For each person there is a glass, and in the middle of the table we can also see a bottle of wine, salt, pepper and mustard. There is some bread and a large knife to cut it. The knives and spoons are on the right side of the plates, the forks are on the left side. The picture on page 150 shows a coffee pot, a milk jug, 2 cups, 2 saucers and 2 teaspoons, and a sugar bowl with sugar in it. There are 2 small plates, and on a larger plate there is a cake. After dinner, Mrs. Green comes into the sitting room with Mr. Green to have coffee. Mrs. Green pours out coffee into 2 cups, puts some sugar in 1 cup of coffee, and some sugar and milk in the other. The coffee without milk is for Mr. Green. Then Mrs. Green cuts 2 pieces of cake, 1 for herself and 1 for her husband. They eat their cake and drink their coffee.
Have some more coffee, George. Your cup is nearly empty.
Oh, no, it isn't, darling. It's half full. This is lovely coffee, so strong and sweet. And the cake is delicious.
Well, I know you don't like weak coffee, George. May I give you some more cake?
Yes, darling, please.
Mrs. Green gives her husband another piece of cake.
Thank you, dear.
Don't mention it.
Well, Mary, this is a pleasure. It's the best coffee and cake I ever tasted.
I'm so glad you liked it, George.
What to say at table.
May I trouble you for some bread?
It's no trouble at all. Here you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Will you have some more roast beef?
No, thank you. Would you pass me the sugar, please?
Certainly. Here you are.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Do you mind if I smoke?
No, that's all right.
Thank you. Oh, could I bother you for a match?
No bother at all. Here you are.
Thank you so much.
Don't mention it.
Note, if somebody says to you, thank you, never answer please. Say it's a pleasure, or you're welcome, or don't mention it. Lesson 13, 13th lesson, Part 1, Shops and Shopping. When we want to buy something, we must go to the shop where it is sold. In the shop window, we see what is sold in the shop. Sugar, tea, coffee, salt, pepper, ham, bacon, and so on are sold at the grocer's. Bread is sold at the baker's, meat at the butcher's. We go to the greengrocer's for vegetables and to the fruiterer's for fruit. Cakes and sweets are sold at the confectioner's. When we want to buy clothes, we go to the men's and boys' or ladies' and girls' outfitters. We buy boots and shoes at the boot and shoe shop. We buy jewelry and silver and gold watches at the jeweller's. To buy tobacco and cigarettes, we go to the tobacconists. We buy books at the bookseller's. The salesman or salesgirl stands behind the counter. The cashier sits at the cash desk. The customers go up to the counter. In the picture, 2 lady customers are standing near the counter. Another woman is standing near the cash desk. Behind the counter is a salesgirl. She is serving one of the customers. We ask the salesman, "How much is this?" or "What is the price of that?" He tells us the price. He gives us the bill. The salesman or salesgirl weighs the goods which we want to buy on the scales and tells us the price. The customer asks, "How much is the ham?" Or, how much does this ham cost? The salesman says it is 5 shillings a pound. At the cash desk, we give the bill and the money to the cashier, who gives us a cheque and our change. If what I am buying costs 4 shillings and I give the cashier 5 shillings, the cashier gives me my cheque and 1 shilling change. The salesman wraps up the goods and gives them to us. We put them in our string bag or shopping bag. The salesman or salesgirl wraps up the goods in paper or puts them in a paper bag. The customer puts them in his or her bag. Some shops have many departments. We can buy nearly everything we need there. These are called department stores. In some shops there are no salesmen or salesgirls, but only cashiers. The customers choose the goods they want and pay at the cash desk. These are called self-service shops. We pay with money, banknotes or coins. Some coins are made of silver, some of copper. Common English banknotes are the pound note, £1 sterling, and the 10-shilling note. Some English silver coins are half a crown, a shilling and sixpence. Some copper coins are a threepenny piece, a penny and a halfpenny. There are 12 pence or pennies in 1 shilling and 20 shillings in £1. Half a crown is 2 shillings and sixpence. Sometimes English people use the word guinea, 21 shillings, especially in prices, but there is no guinea coin. In English shops, the weights, pounds and ounces are used. There are 16 ounces in £1. Half a pound is 8 ounces, a quarter of a pound is 4 ounces. 1 pound is about 450 metric grams.
Texts.
At the grocer's.
What can I do for you, madam?
I want some tea, some sugar and some butter, a quarter of a pound of tea, 2 pounds of sugar and half a pound of butter.
Yes, madam.
Oh, I wanted a little cheese too.
Here is some good Stilton.
Give me a quarter of a pound, please.
Don't you want any coffee, madam?
No, not today. I have enough coffee for this week. That's all for today.
Very good, madam. Here's your bill. Pay at the cash desk, please.
In a department store. At the children's clothing department.
I want a summer frock for a little girl of 5.
Here is a pink one. It only costs 11 6.
But it has long sleeves. I want one with short sleeves, or no sleeves at all.
Here is a pretty blue one. It has no sleeves, and it only costs 10 and 11.
It's very pretty, and I think it's the right size for my daughter. Yes, wrap that one up for me, please.
If it's too large or too small, you can bring it back and change it. But bring the bill.
Please tell me how to go to the ladies' shoe department.
The ladies' shoe department is on the 3rd floor. You can go up on the escalator.
Thank you very much.
At the ladies' shoe department.
I want a pair of shoes for walking.
Here is a very nice pair of sandals.
No, I don't want high heels or pointed toes. I want low heels.
We have some nice walking shoes with flat heels. Here is a pair. I think it is your size.
I must try them on.
She tries them on.
Yes, these fit very well. They're very comfortable. How much are they?
They are £7, 12 and 6.
Where's the cash desk?
There it is on the left. Here is your bill.
Part 2. The Post Office. When we want to send a letter, we must write the address on the envelope and stick the required stamps on it. Yesterday, I sent a letter to a friend. I wrote her address on the envelope and stuck a threepenny stamp on it. For a registered letter, an airmail letter, or an ordinary letter to another country, we must stick more stamps on the envelope. To send a postcard, we do not need an envelope. We buy stamps, send letters, parcels and telegrams at the post office. Post office clerks serve us. The post office clerk weighs the letter or parcel, or counts the number of words in the telegram, and tells us how much we must pay. We can drop ordinary letters into a pillar box in the street. The postman collects the letters out of the pillar box. When the letter arrives at its destination, another postman delivers it to the addressee. He drops it into the letter box. A telegraph boy delivers telegrams to our house. To telephone from an automatic call box, we drop money in the slot, lift the receiver, and dial the number. If the number we need is not engaged, the person whom we are calling answers. Then we press the button. If the number is engaged, we hear the engaged signal. Then we press the button and get our money back. When we have finished our conversation, we replace the receiver on its rest. We can buy stamps from slot machines. We put the money in the slot, press the button, and the stamp comes out. In the tube, we can buy tube tickets from slot machines. There are also slot machines from which we can buy matches, cigarettes, drinks, sandwiches, and other small goods. Texts, a telephone conversation. Lena is reading in her room. The telephone rings. Lena goes and lifts the receiver to her ear.
Hello? Lena here. Hello, Collier. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine too, thanks.
Will you come to the cinema with me?
What's showing?
An English film, but I don't know the name of it. Valia says it's very good.
Certainly I'll come, Collier. When shall we meet?
At 6:45 at the door of the cinema.
But you didn't say which cinema.
Oh, at the Udarnik.
All right, I'll be there. So long.
Lena replaces the receiver on the rest and gets ready to go out.
A letter from England. Yesterday, Tatiana Sedora received a letter from an English friend. The name of the friend is Ethel Hill. Tatiana met her when she came to the Soviet Union with a trade union delegation. Here is what Mrs. Hill wrote in her letter.
51 High Street, Greentown, England, May 24th, 1961. Dear Tatiana, I'm writing to tell you that I arrived home healthy and well last Saturday. My husband was very glad, of course, and he enjoyed hearing all that I had to tell him about Moscow, your fine country, and your splendid people. I told him about the new houses which we're building in all the towns, about how well the people work, how happy they are, and how much they all want peace. I wish to thank you with all my heart for being so kind to me when I was in Moscow. I hope that you will soon come to England, and I shall be very glad if you will come and visit us. My very best wishes to your family. Yours sincerely, Ethel Hill.
Lesson 14, 14th lesson, Part 1, Education and Professions. English children go first to an infant school, then to a primary school, and after that to a secondary school. In the infant school, the pupils learn to read, write, and count. In the primary school, they learn arithmetic, history, geography, and other subjects. In the secondary school, they prepare for their future profession. they study English and foreign languages and literature. Teachers teach the pupils in schools. The modern secondary school prepares the pupils for manual work or for business professions, the grammar school for the university. After the modern secondary school, the pupils can become factory workers, salesmen, accountants, and so on. After the grammar school, they may continue their education in a college or university. Professors teach the students in universities and give them lectures. Technical colleges and the technical departments of universities prepare the students for technical careers, agriculture, and so on. The other departments or faculties of universities prepare members of the various professions: doctors, surgeons, lawyers, teachers, engineers, architects, chemists, physicists, and so on. In this age of space travel and atomic energy, many young people are interested in spaceships, electronics, and atom physics. Since the Soviet Earth Sputniks were launched, people are thinking of space travel to the Moon, Mars, Venus, and other planets. The first man in space was Yuri Gagarin on the Soviet Sputnik ship Vostok. The use of atomic energy for industry and for peace is a subject of interest for all scientists. In educational establishments, young people also receive physical and civic education. At school, college, and university, the pupils or students do physical training or gymnastics and manual or practical work. They learn the duties of a good citizen. They also have opportunities to learn and practice the arts, music, drawing, and others. Text. Sasha thinks of his future profession. Sasha Smirnov is a pupil in a secondary school in Moscow. He learns the Russian language and literature, mathematics, history and geography, natural history, physics, chemistry, and many other subjects. Sasha doesn't know what he will do when he finishes school. Factory workers, he thinks, make many useful things for their people. The workers on the collective farm grow food for their country. The profession of the teacher and the professor is a noble one, he sometimes thinks. Perhaps I shall become a teacher. But scientists also help the happiness and progress of all people. The doctor and the surgeon who look after our health have a most useful and interesting profession. How fine it is to be an engineer or an architect, to build houses, schools, factories, towns, bridges, and power plants. Perhaps Sasha will decide to become an atomic scientist. Perhaps he will fly to the moon or to Mars. Sasha doesn't know what he will be, but there is one thing that he is sure of. He will have every opportunity of learning and practicing the profession he chooses. There will always be useful and interesting work for him. His life will be happy and useful to his country. Part 2. Health, the doctor, the dentist. When we are ill, we call the doctor, and he examines us and diagnoses the illness or disease. When we have a headache, a stomachache, a sore throat, a cold, or a pain in some other part of the body, we call the doctor. He takes our temperature and our pulse. He examines our heart, our lungs, our stomach, or the part where we have a pain, the part of the body which hurts us, and tells us what is the matter with us. He says, you have a slight temperature, or you have the flu, or you have caught a cold, or you have heart disease. The doctor prescribes medicine and gives us a prescription which we take to the chemist, who makes up the medicine. The doctor says, I shall prescribe some medicine. You must take the prescription to the chemist and he will make up the medicine for you. Take the medicine twice a day before meals. If you follow the doctor's orders, you get better. If you disobey the doctor, you may get worse and even die. We must obey the doctor, we must follow the doctor's orders if we want to get better. If we have a temperature, we must stay in bed and take the medicine he prescribes. If we cannot get better at home, we must go to hospital. If you need an operation, for example, if you have appendicitis, a surgeon performs the operation on you. If we are too ill to walk, we go to hospital in the ambulance. After our illness, we can go to a sanatorium until we are strong again. When we have toothache, when a tooth hurts us, we go to the dentist's. The dentist examines our teeth. The dentist asks, which tooth hurts you? He says, that tooth has a cavity. I must stop it. I must put in a filling. If the tooth is too bad, the dentist extracts it.
Texts. At the doctor's.
Doctor, I have a bad headache and I have no appetite.
Show me your tongue.
The patient opens his mouth and shows his tongue.
Yes, you have a very nasty tongue. Have you a pain in the stomach?
Yes, doctor, sometimes, especially after meals. I have a temperature after meals, too.
I must examine your stomach. Does it hurt here?
No, not there.
Here?
Oh, yes, it does there.
You have digestion trouble, but it's not serious. I'll prescribe some tablets. You must take 2 before each meal. Don't eat any roast meat or any heavy food. Eat boiled vegetables and milk puddings. You needn't go to bed, but don't overtire yourself. If you follow my prescriptions, you'll feel much better tomorrow, and in 2 or 3 days you'll be quite well again.
At the dentist's.
I have a very bad toothache. I can't eat and I can't sleep at night.
Sit down in the chair here and open your mouth.
He examines his visitor's teeth.
Which tooth is it that hurts you?
It's a big tooth at the back on the left. Ooh, that hurts very badly.
Yes, that tooth has a big cavity, but I think I can stop it for you. Why didn't you come earlier?
Well, you know, it's not quite a pleasure to go to the dentist's, and every time I decided to come, it got better.
I'll put a filling in this one, but there's another tooth near it which is too bad to be filled. I shall have to extract it. But don't be afraid, it won't hurt you. I'll give you an injection before I extract it.
Lesson 15, 15th lesson, Part 1. In the town or city. In the streets, roads and squares of the town, we see people walking and vehicles driving. The vehicles are trams, buses, trolleybuses, taxis and other motor cars, motorcycles, motor scooters and bicycles. Along the streets are street lamps. At the corners of the streets there are traffic lights. The street lights are switched on when it gets dark. They are switched off when it gets light. When the red traffic light is switched on, the traffic stops. When the green light is switched on, the vehicles drive on. Along the streets, we also see bus stops, trolleybus and tram stops, where people get on and off. People wait at the stops for buses, trams and trolleybuses. They get on and off public transport there. In the streets there are also tube stations where people get on and off the underground electric railway. In buses, trams and trolleybuses, the passengers pay the fare to the conductor. The conductor gives them a ticket. In the tube we get tickets at the booking office, or we buy them from slot machines in the station. At big crossroads in large towns and cities, there are subways for pedestrians and flyovers for vehicles. There are sometimes subways for traffic too. At nearly all street corners, there are pedestrian crossings for people to go over the road. In England, vehicles drive on the left. In the Soviet Union, the traffic drives on the right. Where do we drive on the left of the road? In England. Which side do we drive on in other countries? In most other countries, we drive on the right side of the road. Outside the towns, we travel from one place to another by train, plane, or boat. We get on and off the train at a railway station. To get on and off the plane, we go to the airport. We board a boat or ship and disembark from it at a river port or seaport. Now helicopters are used very much for transport.
Texts. Dmitri Smirnov is visiting London. He wants to go to the British Museum. He asks a policeman how to go there.
Excuse me, officer. How do I get to the British Museum?
See that stop not far from here? Any bus from there takes you straight to the British Museum. Ask the conductor to tell you when you get there.
Thank you, officer.
At your service.
On the bus.
Conductor, does this bus go to the British Museum?
Yes, it stops right in front of the museum. There's an empty seat. Sit down.
How much is the fare?
4pence to the British Museum.
Here is 6pence. Please tell me when we get there.
Very good, sir. Here's 2pence change. British Museum, your stop, sir. There's the museum on the other side of the street.
Thank you, conductor.
He gets off and goes over to the British Museum.
Smirnov wants to send a letter. He does not know where the post office is. He asks a passerby in the street.
Can you tell me the way to the nearest post office?
Yes, there's one not far from here. Go straight along this street and take the second turn on your left. You will see the post office about 20 yards away on the right.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Part 2. Leisure and Holidays. On weekdays or working days, adults work and children go to school. Sunday is their day off or free day. On working days we work. On our day off we do not work. We rest. We work every day except Sunday, but you only work half the day on Saturday. In his leisure time, Mr. Green rests, studies, reads, goes to the library, the park, the cinema, or the theatre. Mr. Green reads technical and political literature and goes to party or trade union meetings. He is now studying Russian because he wants to read Russian technical and scientific books. The Greens go to the cinema to see a film. to the theatre to see a play, opera or ballet, or to a concert hall. The Greens see all the latest films or pictures and plays. They go to the cinema once a week and to a play, opera or ballet 3 or 4 times a season. They visit exhibitions of art or industry. Sometimes they go to the zoo or the circus. The Greens often go for a walk in the park or in the country. They also practice sport. Mr. Green goes to swim in an open-air swimming pool. In winter he plays football, in summer tennis. He doesn't often ski or skate because there is not much snow or ice in England. In the evening, especially on Saturday, Mr. and Mrs. Green sometimes go to a restaurant or a cafe. At the restaurant they have dinner and dance. The waiter brings them the menu. They choose what they want to eat and the waiter serves them. In summer the Greens have their holidays. They go to the seaside. Sometimes they go abroad by boat or plane. At the seaside they lie on the sand in the sun. They sunbathe, bathe and swim in the sea. Mr. Green swims very well. His wife and son can swim too. His daughter is learning to swim. At the seaside they live in a hotel or holiday camp and have their meals in a restaurant or cafe.
Texts. The Sedovs will have their holidays in August. They will go by car to the Black Sea or the Baltic Sea. Pavel Sedov will drive the car. He's a good driver. On the road they will rest at rest camps, where they will have very good meals and beds for the night. During their holidays at the seaside, they will live in holiday camps for tourists. They will have a little wooden house with beds for all. They will have their meals in the camp's large restaurant, where the food is good and cheap, and the service very quick.
Hello, George. Where are you going?
I'm going to the railway station to get tickets. Tomorrow we're going to the seaside for our holidays.
Where will you live there?
We'll have rooms in a small house.
Will you have your meals at home?
Oh no, we must all have a good rest. My wife too. She will not cook any food. She will not work at all. We shall have our meals at a restaurant.
That will be very nice. I wish you a pleasant holiday.
Thank you. They say the weather will be fine, very warm, and there will be no rain. We shall swim in the sea every day, perhaps 2 or 3 times a day. Alice will learn to swim, and I think we shall all enjoy our holidays at the seaside very much.
Well, I must go. Have a good time. Best wishes to your family.
Thank you. Goodbye. See you after the holidays.